Welcome back to the RP Valley Voice. My name is Annika Baca-Meckern. A reminder that this Memorial Day there will be no ceremonies in Rushford or Peterson, but there will be a free breakfast from 7 until 9 a.m. for veterans at the Rushford American Legion. The Color Guard will be conducting cemetery visits as well. Check out last week's episode of the RP Valley Voice for further details. Spring is here, and that means the return of the Rushford-Peterson Valley Farmers Market. This year, the market will be held on Tuesday afternoons from 4 until 6:30 in front of the Well House Ministry Building, also known as the former RP High School building. We visited the market on its opening day, and despite the inclement weather, we were able to talk to all vendors present to give you a sneak preview of the wonderful things in store for this season.
Hi, I'm Marie Boucher. I'm with the Rushford-Peterson Valley Farmers Market. We're in Rushford, Minnesota at the school. Okay, I'm Joyce Dahl.
And I'm Hayden Dahl.
She's my granddaughter, and we have lots of fun things that we're selling this year. We have sewing items, soup-o cozies, dill pickles,
Crocheted things.
and banana bread is what we're specializing in today. So, thank you very much.
Hey guys, it's Jess here with Highum Century Farms. You can find us down at the Rushford-Peterson Valley Farmers Market on Tuesdays. We'll have a variety of fresh beef and pork cuts, along with our snack sticks. So come on down.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Bruder with Prayerful Creations. Thank you for visiting the farmers market. You can see I've got a lot of home canned stuff, what I call my apothecary, which is essential oil-based bath and body. I've got some jewelry and whatever's grown in our garden that's excess. So come on in and see what we've got and enjoy the afternoon.
We'll have baking almost every week. Well, I will have baking every week. Breads, bars, cookies, and then fresh jams that I make, homemade jams.
Hi, we're Tim and Heidi from University Corner Farm, just south of Peterson, Minnesota, and we're here at the farmers market with dandelion scones and violet jelly. We also offer a variety of meats that you can order here at the farmers market, and throughout the year we'll have some other fun things. Our kids are very crafty. They are responsible for anything that looks cool on our table, and so hopefully they'll be here throughout the summer and you can meet them as well.
And we've got chicken and duck eggs too.
Oh, I see, I forgot about the chicken and duck eggs.
Hi, I'm Josh Jurassic, and we have a small organic farm called Pharmacy. And we grow lots of fruits and vegetables out on our farm. We have anything from strawberries, salad greens, lots of tomatoes, cherry tomatoes, slicing tomatoes. And yeah, we just grow everything organically without any pesticides. And one cool thing that people don't know about our farm is that we actually save our own seed. So we have the plants that your grandparents used to raise, that's what we raise. So those flavors that you used to have when you were a child, that's the things that we grow. So come and check out our stuff at the Rushford Farmers Market.
Located in Rushford every Tuesday through October, and come on down.
Also in local news, here is Jen with a reminder of the upcoming Root River Trails Town Rummage Sale. A reminder that the Root River Trail Towns is holding its 60-mile garage sale on Friday and Saturday, June 18th and 19th. If you live in the Rushford-Peterson Valley, please contact me at the Chamber of Commerce with your address and list of the most important items you'd like to tell people about. All sales will be posted on an online Google map, and a map will be published in the Fillmore County Journal. Maps will be handed out in each of the trail towns that day. Participating sales are responsible for their own in-town signage, but there's no cost to be on the Google map or on the map in the Fillmore County Journal. Please contact me to have your sale listed. Thank you, Jen. In this week's emergency services update, we spoke to Rushford Ambulance volunteer Andrea Brand.
My name is Andrea Brand. I have been involved with the ambulance service for 3 years here in Rushford. My husband got me interested after he had started driving for the ambulance, and he's been on for about 4 years. He and I talked a lot about things when he started, and he would come home from calls and be really encouraging, like, you could really do this, Andrea. So when a class became available in Caledonia, I signed up, and for 4 months I studied like crazy and got my EMT license in June of 2018. One of the reasons David and I both felt pulled to get onto the ambulance service was having the ability to help. We knew there was a huge need, there still is, in the love of our community, really. So in 2007, our home flooded, and we received much help, thankfully, and were able to move back home. So in our way, it's giving back to the community that we've come to love. Both David and I find being on this service extremely rewarding. Just knowing that we can be helpful, that we show up for people in their time of need. Sometimes things are scary, sometimes they're really run-of-the-mill, and thankfully that's more the case than the really scary ones. But when those scary things do happen, we have resources, we all have each other to lean on, and we kind of go from there. But overall, knowing that we can be helpful is what keeps us here. We've been really lucky that our older kids are a little older in that they can help with the little one. Being at home, we also have called neighbors in a bind being like, hey, we're heading out to this ambulance call, can you just keep an eye out? Otherwise, when we first started, when I was on, and because David started the year before me, we would kind of be on opposite shifts. Now we actually go together quite a bit on calls, so that's where that older sibling thing comes in handy. And then when folks know that you're on the service, that's kind of their way of helping too. So if you have little kids, I wouldn't let that be a deterrent, but it's certainly something to think about.
As our seniors graduate on this Memorial Day weekend, we reflect on the hardships students endured as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. One local resident looks back on unique challenges faced by his generation when they graduated during World War II. We'll be spending some time visiting with Highum in the next couple of episodes as he reflects on his 75th class reunion.
One of the parts that caught my eye of your yearbook was in this section just dedicated to the senior class. There was a section in here. And it says, our senior year was started soon after World War II was declared at an end. All the other 3 years of high school were spent while war ravaged large portions of the earth. So what was that like, starting your senior year after the war had just ended?
It took a little while before the gas rationing and some of the rationing was ended, but it didn't take that long so we started to get food products that we hadn't been able to get, and then gasoline, of course, was rationed. Well, I had a car when I was a senior because that was the only way I could play football. So I had to drive from 6 miles out of town, and that was Al Morgan and I went up to Minneapolis and we bought a 1936 Plymouth 4-door and paid $450 for it. Well, see, that was 10 years old already, that car was, but it provided me transportation, and that was the only way I could play football. So I was the one that even at the end of the war, it ended in '45, you know. So the senior year was quite what we would call loose, because we could drive. And didn't have to worry about the amount of driving that we did. Let's go back to Pearl Harbor. I do remember that very well, because we were at church, and of course in those days we didn't have radios in the car, so we lived 2 miles out of town at that time, and we drove home, and we turned on the news, and Mom was fixing dinner, and all of a sudden we heard this about Pearl Harbor being attacked, what I remember her crying, and sobbing all the time, and fixing dinner, and we had dinner, and it wasn't until years later that I realized why she was acting the way she did. She had 5 sons, not knowing that, well, it ended up that the oldest one did get drafted. He was a banker, but he was sent to North Africa, and he was in the cryptography, dealing with secret codes. So he spent his time in North Africa. In June of 1946, we had a heavy rain on a Friday night, and there was a flood in Rushford, and there was five of us boys, classmates, that were going to go to Winona to enlist in the service, because we thought it was a good time to go to the service, take advantage of the Bill of Rights, we called it then, and all the college and stuff, that you could get, and then we were all going to do that. Well, it was a flooding, so Al Morgan and I were busy rescuing some things down here at his garage, and we missed going over, so the other 3 went, and they were taken in the Army. I have tried to be a good citizen and do other things that...
Well, I saw in your yearbook you won the Citizenship Award. What kind of things earned you that award? Do you remember?
Well, one of the first things was you behaved yourself in class. You were respectful to the teachers, which we all were. One thing, when I was a freshman, I was taken aside and put in charge of the teaching ag class to my fellow freshmen, because the ag instructor was drafted. So he went to the service, and I was supposed to be the teacher, and I did.
Thank you, Herb, for taking the time to share with us. We look forward to revisiting this interview in the upcoming weeks. Now to RP School News. At the May 17th board meeting, the board approved the following hirings. Courtney Thorman, middle school, high school agricultural teacher. Darren Hegland, high school special education teacher. Aubrey Ingvelson, kids club supervisor. Rebecca Megan, kids club supervisor and youth rec coach. Community ed youth rec coaches, Alex Ronenberg, Thomas Eckern, and Logan Scullett. And the board has approved the resignation of Jenny Helgamo as the junior high volleyball coach. In other actions, the board approved the Spanish Club Costa Rica trip, which will be held from June 14th through 22nd, 2021. A contract with Hiawatha Valley Mental Health was approved for the delivery of schools-linked mental health services and supports to school staff, students, and parents. High school teacher Jacob Kramer received the go-ahead to develop 2 new clubs at RP schools, the Go Green Club and the Diversity Club. The board revisited a proposal brought forward by Superintendent John Thompson at the April meeting that would reduce his contract by 20%. The cost savings measure was approved by the board at the May 17th meeting. RP graduation will be held Sunday, May 30th at 1:30 p.m. in the high school gym. RP School held prom on May 15th with a grand march on the football field. The prom court is as follows: Queen Haley Jenkins, Paige Daly, Isabel Olson, and Ariana Rasmussen. King Tristan Hegland, Evan Loney, Jens Lind, and Jonah Stevers. For this week's teacher feature, we spoke to 2 teachers that will be retiring from RP at the end of the school year, Jacob Olson and Faye Himlie.
Hi, I'm Jacob Olson. I'm following a little bit of a script here, so we'll see what happens. I teach music and band at Rushford Peterson and have for 33 years. Other things I'm involved in outside of school, I've played in lots of dance bands over the years, from polka bands to swing bands, and even a family band with my own kids, direct church choir, and such things in music, plus my other hobbies of working on cars and landscaping and yard work and those sort of things. I grew up in Houston on a farm out in Mooney Valley, and after high school went to UW La Crosse, where I got my undergrad. I have a family. I've got a wife of 34 years and 3 sons. One now lives in Seattle, Washington. One lives in Phoenix, Arizona, and my youngest just graduated from UWL. When I think about retiring, I guess I haven't thought much about it at all. We're still busy working towards the end of the school year and getting ready for a concert on Thursday. Normally I'd be working on Memorial Day program. Unfortunately, it's not happening this year. I know I'll be busy in retirement because I have certainly always been able to stay busy during the summers and when I'm not at school. So there's a question on here about the new school building and whether we've enjoyed that, and we certainly have. We're in a wonderful space, and during this pandemic year, it's been possible for us to play because we have a good air exchange rate and things like that. And I think the kids have felt safe, and we've thought it was a good environment. We've spaced everybody out, and they wear masks as much as possible. So it's been a nice thing. It has for my most memorable experiences at Rushford Peterson, and I tell you, 33 years and thousands of days and hundreds of concerts. There's been way too many to try to pick out one or two. I've always enjoyed the times that the band kids can show off their talents at concerts and things like that. They're always dressed nice and on their best behavior and doing their best, and that's kind of cool. And of course, there's been lots of in school moments where kids have done really neat things too. The next one asks for people that have helped me over the years, and the first person that came to mind was Maynard Thompson, who had been the band director in Peterson for years, for 25 years before I came there, and I used him as a resource, and he was always more than happy to help me in any way he could, and we also became real close friends and still are today. Obviously, working with Bert Svensson all these years, and all the things that we did together with bands and even outside of the school has been very important. And now I've got Adam George and Ben Melke in the music department, and those guys have been really good to work with too. And all the principals and superintendents and other teachers and you know, like I said, thousands of students over the years. You know, I'll miss them all, and have had lots and lots of really cool relationships with them. Next one says, I hope to spend a lot more time. Well, I don't know, maybe I'll get my fishing boat in the water more than once or twice a year. I think that's when retiring will hit me. I haven't thought much about it now, but next September, come Labor Day, when everybody's heading to school, if I hook up my boat and head to the Mississippi, that'll be different. And my advice to students, well, on my profile down in the office, they wrote that I said, well, give it a try. All you have to lose is your dignity. But I think my advice would be a little more concise to students. I would say, you know, don't be afraid of trying hard. Working hard. You'll never regret doing a good job at something, and I guess that would be what I would hope they'd try to do.
Hi, I'm Faye Himlie, and I've taught at Rushford Peterson Elementary for 38 years. not all of them at Rushford. I was at Wabasha before I came here. I've been here for 37 years, and I'm retiring at the end of this year. I've taught second grade now for about 20 years with Patty McAllister, and the last 2 years with Shannon Coproot, and they've been good years. So I have some questions here that Kristen asked, and one of them is what I think about when retiring. I feel, well, it's a mixed emotions. Relieved that I will be done cleaning out all my stuff from the room, and excited for what new adventures might be coming, and sad that I'm leaving something that I've done for so long. And my favorite thing about the new school building is on a day like today, the air conditioning. And everything is so new and clean and fresh, and even walking in the building in the morning, the new smell is still there, and that's fun. And my most memorable experience from being at RP is moving into this new building. That was very exciting. Someone that's helped me over the years, I've taught first, second, third, and fourth grade, and all the people that I've worked with over those years have been very helpful, and I've learned so much from all of them. What am I going to miss most about RP is the kids and the staff. And I hope to be able to spend more time. I'm going to help Ross some, and I'll sub some, and then there'll be more times for taking walks and riding bike. So, and my advice to students is to work hard and be kind, always keep trying and never give up. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Olson and Mrs. Himlie. We wish you the best in your retirement. RP Sports Updates. Softball. Since our last episode, the RP softball team lost to Caledonia, La Crescent, Toca, Cotter, Lanesboro, Fillmore Central, and Mabel Canton. The girls are 2-18 on the season. Section tournament begins on June 1st. Baseball. The RP baseball team is 5-12 on the season. Recent game results include losses against Caledonia, Lanesboro, Fillmore Central, and Cotter, and a win against Mabel Canton. The team will be seeded soon for the section tournament, which begins in early June. Golf. In the last 2 weeks, the Lewiston Altura Rushford Peterson girls golf team beat La Crescent Toca, lost to St. Charles, and placed 4th out of 8 teams at conference. The boys team took 4th out of 5 teams at the Lake City Boys Tournament, lost to La Crescent and won to St. Charles, and took 2nd out of 9 teams at the conference meet. RP boys earning all conference were Andrew Hoynes and Carson Thompson. Track and field. The Rushford Peterson Houston track and field team competed in La Crescent on May 14th, but the meet was not scored. On May 18th, the team headed out to Iota to participate in the true team meet. The boys took 6th and the girls 8th out of 15 teams. The conference meet was held in Elgin on May 22nd, where the boys came in 3rd and the girls 5th out of 10 teams. The next home varsity meet will be the subsection meet held on Thursday, June 3rd, beginning at 4:30. Come to cheer or contact the school to volunteer at the event. That's all for today. Congratulations to our 2021 graduates. Signing off from the RP Valley Voice, my name is Annika Backham-Eckern.